The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affairs segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it. Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM.
Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you. So good to have you with us on this. It's Tuesday, May 14th. The time is quickly going by. Let me tell you, every day I say that, right? Usually when you get to school late, they send you to the office for a late slip. So I'd have to collect a late slip today. I was late. I knew I was late. Went on my way from St. Philip. I could see the sun behind me. That's not a usual thing. So I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning, along with the entire crew. You know, we work hard to come into your homes and hearts every single day and make sure that we keep you abreast of what's happening not only here in Barbados, but across the region and the world. Today will be no different. We're going to be speaking with the Department of Emergency Management as we get tsunami ready. There's a seminar coming up about the West Coast, and we want to make sure that we share all the details about that, so you want to stay tuned for that. I know a lot of the times Barbadians joke about God being a Bajan, and we kind of think there's nothing that can happen when it comes to Barbados, but we most certainly have to be prepared because as a small island developing state, there are many things that can happen, not only here, but in other Caribbean islands. If we hearken back to what happened in St. Vincent and how we were affected down the chain, that's a perfect example of why we should be prepared. Also today on the program, Empowered Network of Churches, or ENOC, they have the Festival of Pentecost coming up, and you would know that we have Whitsun coming up and Monday and all of that. And many people think, oh, it's just because it's a bank holiday, but we want to make sure too that you understand the reason for having that time off and what's happening. Rice's Methodist Church will be having a variety concert, and we're going to be sharing some time with them because we want to make sure that there's lots happening across the communities and you know all about it. Plus, lots of Barbadians have been getting out and exercising more and doing lots on trails and hikes. And we want to spend a little time on that as well with Professor Dwayne Devonish. He's with the Blazing Trails Hiking Association, as is Gail Paris. So they have a hike coming up on the bank holiday that's coming up, and they are going to be here to tell us more about how you need to prepare to be a part of it. Now, if you don't work out, or you don't exercise, or you don't walk, I don't expect that you will try to get out and do an entire hike. So we're going to kind of break that down for you so that you would be prepared if you want to go out and get a little bit of exercise and see much of Barbados from the inside out, because we usually see just the outskirts of Barbados, but certainly to be able to experience the gullies and the trails and behind the scenes is a totally different experience. Empress Zinga and DJ Simmons are going to be in as we look at the Gainon Awards. And of course, that is a People's Choice Awards that husband and wife team came up with a few years ago. And it really has been growing in popularity as they award and reward Barbadians from all spheres of society. So you can vote for everything from your favorite nail technician to your favorite actor on the Gainon Awards. And lots of people have been getting involved. We want to make sure that we share about that. We've been in the forefront of sharing with you on the Roger Boys Classic too. Today is no different. We have the big winners, pun intended, coming through to share with us. Eddie out of Suriname. He was defending his title from 2023. He's back with us in 2024. Did he win? Yes, he did. And we have a chair prepared specifically for Eddie. He has the biggest muscles I have ever seen in my lifetime. I am not joking. And I've seen photos from Mr. Olympia. Believe me, I think that's where Eddie is absolutely heading. But we wanted to start today. Usually on Tuesdays, we have conversations on CARICOM. And we focus a lot on what's happening here in the region. Today, we want to step out a bit. It still concerns us here in the region. But we want to step out a bit and talk about what's happening across the world. So we've been hearing lots about the conflict that's happening in another part of the world between Israel and Palestine. And we wanted to share more about that in this particular segment. So joining us are members of the Caribbean Against Apartheid in Palestine. Treasurer Suleiman Bouboulé, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And Secretary is Lalu Hanuman.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have both of you with us on this day. Now, we're speaking specifically, obviously we'll speak in general terms, but I think we need to bring people along as well who might not have been following the conflict as closely as people in the media or you would be as a part of this organization. So I'll start with you, Suleiman. Tell me a little bit about your organization, when it got started, and the purpose for the organization.
So Caribbean Against Apartheid in Palestine, we started some 10 years ago. We're in our 10th year now. And we saw the need to advocate for information, the rights of the Palestinian people. It's a conflict that has been going on for 76 years to more, actually, and more than that, because it started long before the creation of the State of Israel. And we felt it was important to start to advocate, give information, sensitize Barbadians and people in the Caribbean in general on the issue of Palestine, recognition of the state of Palestine, because Barbados was among the CARICOM countries that didn't at the time. We have done so now. Barbados has recognized, and all of CARICOM now has recognized the state of Palestine, which we are very happy to note. And so Caribbean Against Apartheid started back 10 years ago, and we have been advocating, doing programs over the years, sensitizing Barbadians, bringing in speakers, having films and videos on the issue of Palestine, writing to the press, advocating with government to recognize as well the state of Palestine. So that's the work that we've been doing, and we recognize that we now have to continue doing a lot more work, especially within the last 7 to 8 months.
Now, Lalu, when we talk about recognizing the state, a lot of people might not understand what we mean. To just follow up, Barbados has now recognized Palestine as a state in and of itself, which many countries didn't. As you mentioned, the Caribbean islands have done it in waves. Barbados has been in the last wave, recent wave, so to speak. So let's talk about this recognition and why it's important, first of all.
Well, acknowledging the sovereign nature of the Palestinian state. In other words, it's a legal entity that Barbados has recognized. Barbados has recognized a number of places, such as Kosovo, for example, which is a breakaway province of Serbia. And they did that under the Frondel administration. But it's taken Barbados since 1967, when they recognized Israel, to recognize Palestine as an entity, which, as you know, the recognition was on the 19th of April this year of Palestine. So it means that it's an act of solidarity with the Palestinian people to show that despite the fact that their borders and their homeland is under occupation, Barbados is extending solidarity to them and recognizing them as a legal sovereign entity.
Outside of the advocating, based on what you're doing with the organization, Suleiman, what can people in this part of the world do to help try to move things forward based on what is happening now that Barbados has moved to this place in recognizing Palestine? What does this mean in real terms?
I think that, first of all, we need to sensitize and understand what is going on. I think we tend not to have a lot of information on what is happening in that part of the world. And sadly, the narrative was driven a lot by the Western media, what they tend to put out. And so we tend to not understand the full nature of the conflict. And this conflict, as I mentioned, goes back more than 76 years ago. And it speaks to the heart of colonialism and a people imposing on another people, taking up their lands and having policies that really reject a whole nation of people. And the Palestinian issue is something that we need to unpack, we need to understand it and educate. One of the things that we are going to be doing on Wednesday this evening at St. Leonard's Church is to have a panel discussion on this by a group of different background people. Reverend Charles Morris, Lalo, and others will be there to speak on the issue of Palestine. I think we need to understand it first and foremost, because I think a lot of Barbadians, and generally in the Caribbean, they don't see the connection, but there is a major connection, because anything that goes on in that part of the world ultimately affects us economically and socially and otherwise, because we are affected by what goes on in the international arena. And so we need, first and foremost, to understand. Once we understand what is happening, we can start to advocate. And we're seeing a lot more of that advocacy happening across the Caribbean, across the world especially, where people are saying, no, something has to be done about this, because we can no longer say that it is okay for Palestinians to be killed en masse or imprisoned, or there's apartheid policies and nobody's saying anything about it. So we need to have to move to that level of advocacy, of saying to the world stage, we have to understand the plight of the Palestinians and start working towards having it alleviated in some way.
Lalo, why do you think there's such deep differences as we move across the world in, first of all, recognizing Palestine? We know the U.S. does not, and they obviously support Israel as an ally of theirs with the UK, etc. Why do you think there's such deep differences as we move across the globe in the recognition of what you seemingly feel like can be seen from even this part of the world, literally and figuratively?
Well, unfortunately, in the context of America, the Zionist lobby is very strong. And they fund both political parties. And it's out of self-interest, really, that America has been reluctant to recognize Palestine, because they're concerned, the various political parties, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, that they would alienate the Zionist lobby in America. So that is their main motivation, as well as which they're what's known as Christian Zionists in terms of the electorate, and they form quite a huge body of people in America as well. And so it's because of that they have not been in support of Palestine in reality.
What does this recognition by CARICOM states in numbers mean to this entire fight?
It adds to the numbers. It adds to the numbers at the United Nations. So you have 144 countries now recognizing the state of Palestine out of a total number of 193 countries in the world. Recently, you had a vote in the United Nations General Assembly on admitting Palestine as a full member, and it was voted by the majority, but obviously it still has to go to the Security Council. And the last time it went to the Security Council, America vetoed. So you see that happening, those dynamics happening, where you have the majority of the world recognizing that there is a state called Palestine, that Palestinian people have rights, but then you see the powerful countries in the world lobbying against having them have a seat at United Nations and other institutions across the world. So for Barbados and the Caribbean countries to recognize, it adds the numbers in terms of United Nations, but it also adds legitimacy to the legal fight of the Palestinian people against the occupiers.
Now, we've seen South Africa in recent times go to an international judicial court, making certain advances, and other countries joined along with South Africa in that fight. From where we sit, do we see that there's been any movement whatsoever based on the conversations that have been happening across the globe, and so many people and countries coming out against the conflict?
Well, I actually had a conversation recently with the Honorable Kerry Simmons, the Foreign Minister of Barbados, about Barbados also joining in with that struggle that South Africa has initiated in the International Court of Justice. And he said that it will be considered. It's important that we give solidarity to the Palestinian struggle. We as a people who have endured chattel slavery, indentured slavery, we know what it is like to live under a racist apartheid type regime, and that is what the Palestinians have been living under. Mr. Nelson Mandela is on record as saying, and also Mr. Archbishop Desmond Tutu, what the Palestinians are experiencing is worse than what the South Africans endured under apartheid. So we as a people who have endured slavery and colonialism and racism, it's our duty to support the Palestinian struggle.
With this move toward increasing the numbers at the UN stage, how will this move efforts forward? And this seemingly seems like a question that I'm asking in circles, because as we go through each step, there's so many organizations and people and bodies who are seemingly lending their voices. But from where we sit, most certainly in the media, it feels as though we are seeing a movement in the other direction. Just a few weeks ago, we heard about further Israeli occupation, where they're moving to now set up and start further building in parts of the city. So are we truly making inroads in what we're doing based on where we sit and from what we can see?
I think that we are at the level of the mass protests. I think what has happened in the world is that the narrative has changed within the last 8 to 9 months over what Israel is really doing in the Palestinian states. And you're seeing a wider mass protests happening across the world, especially in Western capitals. You see the university protests now in the United States and Europe. So at that level, there is change. There's change of understanding what the dynamics are that is going on here. At the higher levels, I think they need to put pressure now on their governments to say, look, you need to also step up to the plate. You cannot continue to pour billions of taxpayers' dollars into an army that basically kills people and commits genocide. And that is basically what they're doing. And they're doing it with impunity, and they've done it over a number of years. They have ignored countless United Nations resolutions, settlement buildings, taken up land. They've flouted international humanitarian laws. They have targeted journalists. They have targeted UN agencies. They have targeted schools, innocent children and women. I mean, it can no longer continue like this. And I think that is where the world population is coming to a point and saying, well, this cannot continue, and you as a government cannot continue to support this by sending our money over to these people. And I think that is where the change is happening at the ground level.
I know, Lalu, you just mentioned that you spoke with Minister Simmons a little while ago following the mid-April acknowledgement by Barbados of Palestine as a state. What, to your mind, should be next steps? Once there's recognition, where should a country go after that in terms of truly showing their support?
Well, I would hope that, one, as I mentioned, that Barbados would support the initiative of the South African government in the International Court of Justice. They've brought this case against Israel for genocide, and I would hope Barbados would join in that action. A number of other countries have, something like 54 countries globally have supported the South African action. I would hope that CARICOM as an entity would support it, not just Barbados. and also that in all international forums that Barbados would support the cause of Palestine in much the same way as we did over apartheid in South Africa. We boycotted South Africa totally in sports, in trade, etc. And there's a need for us to start doing that with Israel, to boycott Israeli products. In fact, we have a campaign as an organization against Sabra hummus. Sabra hummus, which is available in Massey and a number of other outlets, is actually produced by an Israeli company. And we're calling upon Barbadians, we have a petition online in this regard, to boycott Sabra. And as a government, Barbados needs to express in all forums support for the Palestinian cause, just as we did over apartheid in South Africa.
I know that as we move across the country, we've been seeing some support by way of notices or signs and decals on minivans and poles and in different spaces. Is this a part of your work? What's behind the effort here on the ground?
As I said, there's a groundswell of people coming out and saying we support what is happening because we are appalled by what we're seeing. And the social media has driven that a lot within the recent months. And so you're seeing people just supporting the Palestinian cause based on what they're seeing, based on what they are experiencing and what the Palestinian people are experiencing. So yes, we are doing a lot more on the social media platforms. We are educating more, sensitizing, and you're seeing more persons coming along and saying, look, we want to be part of it. We want to understand more. We want to get involved. And so yes, that is what is widely driving that. I mean, the other answer to your question is, well, what next? Belize has taken the step of suspending relations with Israel. They took that very early in this few months ago.
We've seen a number of states across the world.
And you're seeing states doing that.
Yes.
And perhaps that's the next steps that we have to reevaluate. For me, is reevaluating our relationships. And yes, I know that we have a very good relationship with the state of Israel, but we have to reevaluate our relationships with countries across the world that do not follow international law.
Absolutely. Now, let's step back a bit. And for people who might not be following as closely as we do, we hear words bandied about like genocide. And now we're talking to people about apartheid. And people might not understand. So let's break that down a little bit, Lalu. When we talk about genocide, let's talk about what we mean in real terms.
Well, there's this thing called the Genocide Convention, which actually defines what genocide is. It's an attack on a people in a systematic way, not only in terms of their physical being, but also in terms of their general being, their cultural being, their very existence that's being undermined and threatened. And what is happening in Palestine now, 35,000 people murdered, butchered by the Israeli government since the 7th of October last year in Gaza alone. And it's also happening in the West Bank, which is another part of Palestine. But that doesn't get much prominence in the news. But that fits directly within the definition of genocide. The withholding of medicines, the withholding of water, the withholding of food, the withholding of fuel by the Israeli government, the weaponization, in fact, of food by starving the people in Gaza. All of that amounts to genocide. You mentioned the word apartheid. I was a little disheartened recently. I was at a stall at the Lloyd Erskine Sanderford Center for a number of school children, Barbadian school children. There was an open day there, and there were school children around the ages of 14 to 15, about 1,000 of them from different schools. And I was talking to them, and not one of them knew what the word apartheid meant. And I thought that was a rather sad indictment of the education system in Barbados. We as a people who have endured colonialism and racism, surely the schools must be teaching what apartheid is. In fact, only a few of them knew who Nelson Mandela was. So, and when it came to Palestine, again, some children were telling me Palestine was in the Caribbean. I know, it's quite disheartening in that regard. But it's important that in the schools, the education system informs students of the reality of what's happening in the world. And in a black country like Barbados, or a predominantly black country like Barbados, all school children should know what apartheid is. All school children should know who Nelson Mandela was. As I said, I was somewhat taken aback that that wasn't the case.
A lot of the times we have to take on unconventional means to be able to get this out. Unfortunately, a lot of what these children might know of Palestine or Gaza or what's happening is based on what is shared through popular dancehall culture.
Yes.
So a lot of them would be walking around with this Gaza gully fight
Yes.
that they would hear through the popular music,
Yes.
but they don't necessarily know what the stories are behind, the places and the people that are talking about them.
Agreed.
So I totally agree with you in terms of being able to empower people with information so they can make informed decisions and determine where they're going. It's very, very important. And I'm very surprised that there were so many school children who were not aware of what has happened in South Africa, who Nelson Mandela is. But that's why engagements like this are important. So let's go back to this panel discussion that's coming up and share a little bit about what can be expected.
Sure. So we have partnered with the St. Leonard's Anglican Church, which is have welcomed us. We're going to have a panel discussion moderated by the Reverend there, Sonia Hines, and we want to discuss Palestine, our common humanity, because we tend to think that people think that Palestinians are just a different set of people, not human beings or whatever. We want to bring that home to who are Palestinians and how they relate to us as Barbadians, and understand what is happening in that part of the world. And we have also on the panel Reverend Charles Morris. We have Lalu is going to be there, Feroza Koftiwala, educator. And we had hoped to have David with us on the panel, but I understand he has to travel, so we may not have him. I may fit in for him. But it's going to be a panel discussion, questions and answers. So 7 o'clock, St. Leonard's Anglican Church on Wednesday, this Wednesday, coming May 15th, which is the 76th anniversary of what the Palestinians call the Nakba, or the catastrophe, which is the creation of the State of Israel.
All right, so I know that there's been much groundswell across the world. Most certainly in the US, we've seen across colleges and universities, there have been many students who've been protesting for quite a few weeks now. So there's a lot going on.
Yes.
But I could see how we need to amp up our voices here in Barbados.
Yes.
Just even from the perspective of there being so many people who are being killed.
Yeah.
As a region that stands for peace and wants to say a region of peace, I can see how the support now of Barbados and other Caribbean countries will lend to the voice for the fight. Final words from you, Lali, as we wrap up today's discussion.
Well, I'm pleased that Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica and Bahamas have now come on board and recognize the state of Palestine. And as Suleiman said, the entire CARICOM now has recognized Palestine, which is I fully support and celebrate, really. And I would hope going forward that, as Suleiman also mentioned, that we would reconsider and reappraise our relationship with Israel, and maybe follow in the footsteps of Belize, which is amazing that they've done this, that they've suspended diplomatic relations with the State of Israel, which is an apartheid state, a colonialist state, a racist state, and now a genocidal state as well.
Yeah. And you asked a question about apartheid, and it's important to understand, because we're not just using words because we're pulling words out of our top health to describe a country. It is practical on the ground, it's reality on the ground, and they do have laws. If you're an Israeli Jewish citizen, you have more different rights and more rights than an Israeli Arab citizen on the ground. Don't even talk about the Palestinian occupied territories. We're even talking about in the State of Israel, which touts itself as the only democratic state in the Middle East. And you have to go and understand what's happening on the ground. Up to last week, I think it was Lalu, that they demolished the homes of Israeli Arabs who they said were, they want this land. And they just went and destroyed over 50 homes. So we're not just saying these words. And what I'm encouraging Barbadians to do is to understand what is going on more, learn more, read up, and have the information there for themselves.
That's very important, not to just take your word for it, but to look at what's happening. And of course, you can get information from, many sources, but make sure you're looking at credible sources as well, because you don't want to just look at any information that's posted online. I don't think as Caribbean people we truly grasp the depth of the damage that can be done in a 76-year conflict.
Correct.
And I think that's a good place to leave people in terms of their thinking. 76 years of fighting, what can that do to a people,
Precisely.
to a state, to a country? All right, so thank you, gentlemen. Suleiman Bubulia is Treasurer. Lalu Hanuman is Secretary of the Caribbean Against Apartheid in Palestine. and their work continues. Make sure you head out on Wednesday to the St. Leonard's Anglican Church. That's, of course, on Westbury Road. What time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock in the evening, and be a part of that discussion. And I know you can find more online if you want more information as well. Again, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Much
All
appreciated.
right. And do your research, find out a little bit more. It's time for a break. When we come back, a whole lot more here on Morning Barbados. Do stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it. Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well,
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 22 minutes to 7 o'clock. Is that time right, Peter? Yeah, Peter checks for me. Peter's my camera guy. That's my guy. The guys are behind the scenes working hard. I have to say good morning to Team CBC. It's always good to shout out your colleagues. I know some people who work equally as hard or even harder than the team here at CBC when it comes to essential work, particularly around this time of year that we call hurricane season. And that, of course, will be the people over at the Department of Emergency Management. I was just joking with Mr. Selwyn Books that I only get to see him around this time of year. So good morning to you, Selwyn. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
Good stuff. Now, he's a consultant with the Department of Emergency Management. And we want to talk a little bit about a seminar that's coming up. It's called Tsunami Ready for the West Coast.
That's correct.
Was it important for us to talk specifically about tsunami readiness in general?
The country is currently undergoing a process of how we can sensitize persons, especially those that are on the coastal, and the need to be tsunami ready. In this program, we are focusing on the West Coast, in particular Porters to Batsrock, which forms part of the major hotel along the West Coast. And it is an initiative as together with the Tsunami Accreditation Program for that area, and how we can sensitize Barbadians in general, but we are focusing on this seminar and the hotel, villas, large property owners, so that they can come out and hear how they can learn or practice what they need to do in the event that tsunami comes a-calling.
When we talk about readiness, and sensitization, is there any thing in place that says to villa owners or rental properties, smaller boutique hotels or larger hotels, that they have to have a plan in place when it comes to these types of emergency matters?
Yes, it is. It is not mandatory to my knowledge, but nevertheless, I think it is prudent that persons recognize that you have a property, you have a business, you have a hotel, that we can't stop the hazards like a tsunami, but we can most certainly seek to prepare for it so that we can respond and that we can recover as quickly after with the least level of inconvenience. And if it is that the hotels, especially in Barbados, where we depend so heavily on the economic value that the hotel sector brings to our country, it is very important that the large property owners, the villas, managers, and all persons connected with that sector recognize that along the coastal plains you are susceptible to tsunami or storm surge activity, and therefore you need to take proactive steps that you can prevent or minimize the damage as a result of it, and prepare your staff and how they can respond. And when we look at the hotel sector, the majority of the occupants are not Barbadians. So therefore they will not know where to go and what to do. So it is the onus is on the management of these properties to inform first the staff, so the staff will know what they have to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and then transfer that information to their guests so that we can reduce the loss of life and also to make sure that they can recover as quickly as possible after the impact.
Sometimes to get people on board, I think they have to feel as though what might happen could happen. It could even be a possibility. And I feel like a lot of Barbadians don't feel like, oh, a tsunami maybe never can happen here. But I'm happy you mentioned storm surge. And we most certainly know what storm surge can do.
Yes.
So it truly is important. In recent years, we've had a number of facilities across the West Coast that have been ravaged, as you mentioned, in that same area by strong storm surge. Why is the West Coast particularly susceptible?
You'll find that a lot of the properties are very close to the shoreline. It's a relatively flat area, and even the last couple of months when we, as you say, we had some swells, the water would have come ashore quite a considerable distance, and that is just a normal sea swell. So therefore, the terrain, because it is flat, because it has an abundance of properties that are actually adjoining each other, it is very important that we recognize also on that highway is one of the main arteries in and out of Bridgetown. So these are the challenges that we have to consider. It is in this area alone, we have approximately 1,700 properties in this Bastrop to Portus area. And there are high-end properties, there are large properties, and there are the occupants of these properties. The majority of them are not Barbadians. So that increases the risk because they will not know exactly where to go and how to go there. And this program focuses primarily on identifying the safe evacuation routes away from those properties and how far inland you will be relatively safe. But then again, relatively safe means that's relatively safe because you do not know the intensity of the impact, and that would therefore the inundation zone would vary depending on the topography of the land and the knowledge of those persons who know where to go, how to get there in the shortest possible time.
Now, you mentioned you're targeting these properties. Obviously, designees of the owners or the managers or so on of the properties are the people you're looking to get on board. And this is coming off on May 30th. It's called Tsunami Ready for the West Coast, and it's a seminar. So talk to me about the people that you hope to see participating in this particular seminar.
Okay, a lot of the properties along the West Coast and indeed the South Coast are managed by realtors, real estate persons, and they have a cohort of persons who have an input into the actual management of these properties. They are the persons who are the decision-making position at this, and we are targeting them because they have to be able to understand how you can receive the warning, the official warning, what understanding of what the warning dictates that you should do, the level of training that your staff would have received to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and also to be able to lead your guests to safety. So we are looking and targeting at the decision-making persons from the housekeeping right up to the general manager, because it is a wide area of response and capacity that is needed. So it is not the manager alone, but those persons who, what are the various aspects of your emergency response plan, because the manager doesn't do everything. So it is a full scale to target those persons who will be making the appropriate decisions in a timely manner that you can lead your guests to safety.
All right. Is there any registration that's needed? Or,
Yes.
or are you just, oh, well, yes. So tell us more about that.
Registration closes on the 17th, which is the end of this week on Friday. And you could appreciate planning an event like this. There has to be a cutoff time because the hotel has to be able to know what numbers we're catering for. The space is limited, so we're asking persons to register as soon as possible. We are charging a meager $125, which in no way represents the value of it, but that charge is primarily to cover the expense of putting on it. We are not a profit organization, so we're just charging so that we can meet the expenses of actually producing the event.
Who will be presenting?
I will be one of the main presenters, and we also have another one of our business continuity professionals, Ms. Cheryl Griffith. She will also be assisting.
All right, so it comes off on May 30th from 9:30 in the morning till 12:30 in the afternoon. It will be at Tamarind Hotel, Paynes Bay in St. James. And you're going to have a consultant in the Department of Emergency Management, Selwyn Brooks, and another presenter sharing more on why we need to be tsunami ready for the West Coast. So calling all property managers and the various agencies that manage the various properties, of course the owners as well. If you can reach out and share, I know there's a strong network among you. You definitely should reach out and share. 1,700 properties. I was surprised to hear that number. I haven't been counting, but I certainly wouldn't go to 1,700 between Bats Rock and whole town. 1,700 properties. That's a lot. So hoping that quite a few of you will come out as we prepare for this hurricane season. I mean, we should be prepared already because we're kind of in the throes of things, but let's make sure that we are as ready as we can be. Good to see you, Selwyn. Sometimes I don't feel like saying that, particularly if there are things happening, but I feel like saying that this morning. So good to see you. Good to have you on Morning Barbados, and thanks for sharing.
Nice to be in here.
All right, wonderful stuff. We're going to take another break here on Morning Barbados, but we have more coming up because next we're telling you about Enoch, the Empowered Network of Churches, the Festival of Pentecost. We'll share more on that next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me
get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why? My friend, you don't plan to get it.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 9 minutes to go before the 7 o'clock hour. Good to have you with us on this great Tuesday. I told you that today was one of those days I would have to collect, go straight to the office, late slip. I was very late today, you know. One of those days, I guess sometimes where everything feels like it's lagging, a little bit of indecision keeps you back and all of that stuff. I certainly hope that's not your story today. A special good morning to the little ones who did the CXing math exam yesterday. I've been hearing some mixed messages about what it was, but most certainly all of the little friends of my daughter whom I spoke with said that nobody seemingly was able to complete the functions that had to do with the angles with the functions. So maybe we'll be able to talk about that a little bit later. But keep pressing on. I know you have other exams coming up. Some of you, the other older children are doing CAPE as well. So just keep pressing on, all right? You're going to be fine no matter what happens. So we're looking toward a holiday, which a lot of Barbadians usually just, it's a bank holiday and they take it as a time to head out to picnics or enjoy time with family and so on. But we want to ensure too that you understand the reason for, you know, that time of celebration, so to speak, or reflection. So joining me, albeit virtually, I'm going to scold both of them because I really would prefer to have both of them in studio with me. But here they are on my screen, Bishop Kenroy Burke, the Administrative Bishop of the New Testament Church of God in Barbados, and Bishop Selwyn Brathwaite, the Administrative Bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies, or PAWI, Barbados District. So good morning to you, gentlemen. Welcome virtually.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so I would have seen one bishop more recently than the other.
That's true.
So good to have both of you with us. Let's talk a little bit about the Festival of Pentecost that is coming up and powered, no pun intended, by the Empowered Network of Churches. We'll start with you, Bishop Burke. I'm not sure Bishop Burke heard me. Did you hear me, Bishop Burke?
I'm hear you. You're very low, but I just heard. The second time around.
All right, good stuff.
Okay, the festival started a few years ago, nearly a decade ago. We started the festival. Over the years, what we would call the Pentecostal evangelical churches in Barbados would come together and unite over one service. We believe the Pentecost, as we know it, Whitsuntide, but some persons would call it, we believe that is the birth day of the church. And it is when the Holy Spirit came amongst the brethren back then and started the church. So we have celebrated it as a body over the years. One of the interesting things about it is that it started primarily as a group of persons. Pentecostal assemblies in the West Indies invited the other denominations to partner with them under the leadership of Bishop Dr. Jerry Seal. He was the one who initiated it. And over the years, we have worked together. But then we moved a little bit and segmented, I guess probably augmented is probably the better word, from just a group of persons coming together for that event, now to a network of churches, building fellowship, working together on various projects, but primarily creating a space where the church is able to come together as one and to minister to our nation as one.
So tell us, Bishop Brathwaite, about the theme for this particular this year's presentation, because I know that you go along with themes and you make sure that you bring the church along in terms of where you're going with your messages and the type of service that you bring to the public?
Well, yes, the theme for this year is the rebirth, one passion, one people, and one purpose. Now, we came out of a very, very difficult season with COVID, and we felt now that as the church in Barbados, we wanted to recommit ourselves to the call and to the cause of Jesus Christ and within our nation. Because of the COVID situation, we were kind of restricted, even though we were doing stuff as the church. We felt now that we wanted to say to the nation now, this is a rebirth in of our mission, of our purpose, and our calling. Now, you would also appreciate that there are many denominations, in Barbados that worship, under the name of Jesus Christ. And sometimes those denominations can kind of get in the way of stuff and create barriers. So what we felt to do now is to really come to the realization that we are not just denominations, but actually we are one body of people serving one person. We have one passion and we have one purpose, and that is really to let the nation know that Jesus Christ is really Lord. So we are making this attempt right now to break down all of those barriers and those nuances and to really commit ourselves as a people, forgetting about those barriers and say, let's do this together as a people and let's begin to reconnect with our nation as a people. So that's the reason why we were very, very deliberate with the whole theme of the rebirth, one people, one passion, and one purpose.
That's a really great message to hear that, we're no longer divided the way we have been in the past across denominations. I think
Yes.
that will make a drastic difference to where we're going as a predominantly Christian society. Now, for you, Bishop Burke, talk to me about how the shape that this presentation will take this time around.
Okay, so this weekend we are partnering also, and this is the beautiful thing about it. We're partnering with another entity that is promoting Jesus Fest. So the entire weekend is going to be focused on celebrating Jesus. So on Friday evening, we're going to be worshiping in the city. The ladies have asked to remind everyone that we're wearing white, and
Why
the
would you say
ladies
just
must
the
make sure
ladies? Come
they're
on, there's some guys out here who want to wear white too.
But the ladies have asked. The ladies have reminded us that we must be wearing white. Please make sure that you are all dressed in your white. I can only tell you who reminded me, Tisha. And then the Saturday, the Saturday is exciting because we're going to be marching for Jesus on at 4:30. We're gathering around 4 o'clock again in the square, and we are going to be marching through the city and celebrating Jesus. I want to remind us that everything happening in the square, in Independence Square. And again, we're asking for persons to be dressed in their white. You can wear a white t-shirt. It doesn't have to be all white if you are able to just wear the white t-shirt. And then on Sunday is the service then where we culminate every at 5 p.m. Generally, persons have their plans for their Pentecost Sunday. So all we're asking then for persons to do is to gather with us on the Sunday evening from 5. We're gonna have a program of drama, dance, singing, prayers and declarations over our nation. Even as we get ready for the ICC T20 tournament, we're going to be praying God's covering over our nation. Really and truly, our focus on that Sunday, and in fact, for the entire weekend, is just Jesus. I love the fact that we are working beyond the boundaries, as well as we are working beyond those things that separate us, and ensuring that we are able to come together as one for the purpose of grace.
Bishop Brathwaite, is there a pet event for you in terms of what's happening? I know that you must be looking forward to the entire weekend with this theme. I think it's quite apt based on what you explained is the overall objective of the event, which is the rebirth, one people, one passion, one purpose. But is there a particular pet event for you in terms of where you will be able to truly, share or enjoy that aspect of it? I know probably for Bishop Burke, it is not the white, wearing the white. Just kidding. But I mean, there's a lot happening, and I know usually for some people there are particular events that are near and dear to their hearts.
Well, I will have to say all of them are important, and you are kind of putting me on the spot there. But I would say though that my heartbeat is really for this Sunday evening when we are actually going to be seeing the merging of our leaders, okay, and their churches coming together to really make that commitment to the nation, okay, that we are back to serve as servants of Jesus Christ. And that really is going to be my heart, because you do know that on the day of Pentecost, the Spirit of God came upon people there, and they were able to communicate to people in their own language. And that is something to me that is dear to my heart, because there are people who are going to be in that space and going back into that space, into their own world, and they are going to have different challenges, different struggles, different opportunities. And what we want to do now as the body of Christ is to begin to specialize and to meet them at their point of need. So to me, this is Sunday evening is really going to be the launching pad as the members, the denominational heads come together. This is going to be a launching pad to say, hey, we are just assembling here, but we are getting ready to get back into our communities to reach people where they're at, no matter what their challenge, no matter what their strength. We want to let them know that we are there to let them know that Jesus Christ can make the difference in their life. So to me, that is really going to be my passion on the Sunday evening, as we use that as the launching pad to go and to reach our nation for Jesus.
Oh, that's beautiful. I want to thank you, Bishops Kenroy Burke and Selwyn Brathwaite, for sharing with us. As I mentioned, it would have been wonderful to have you in studio, but it's good that you've been able to share from afar as well. And I just would like to remind you to add to that prayer list the West Indies team when we talk about T20 cricket. Around that time, we have to put the West Indies on that list as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
We definitely will. And we're all white.
He got the message. You understood the assignment, Bishop Burke. You understood the assignment. Again, thank you very much. Remember, Empowered Network of Churches, or Enoch Festival of Pentecost. That's just one aspect of what will be happening. The word and worship is what it's all about. Starting from the Friday, Saturday, they walk all the way through Bridgetown, and it's coming up on Sunday, the 19th of May at 5 o'clock in Independence Square under the theme, The Rebirth, One People, One Passion, One Purpose. So come on out and be blessed. All right, take that all in. It's time for another break, but stay with us. Much more is coming on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back to Morning Barbados. It is that kind of time already. Let me see, 7:05. Yeah, you have to get out of the house if you don't want to be like me. Today was one of those days, you know. You're a little late. Things aren't necessarily lining up the way they should and so on. But I'm here. So thank God for that, right? I suppose. All right, so we have Tony Barrow joining us, and he is de facto CBC family because his brother works with us here at CBC. His sister-in-law is here too. Cameron make a whole family at CBC.
Yes.
Nicole. So good morning to
Yeah,
the...
that's my younger brother.
Collins
I'm the
family.
shy one. He's the...
You're the shy one?
Yeah.
Cameron is shy too. So if you're the shy one, I don't even know where to go with that. All right. So Tony, you're a member of the Rice's Methodist Church, and you guys have a variety concert that's coming up. Tell me more about it.
Yes, that variety concert will take place on Saturday. For the last few weeks, I've been saying on the 18th, but it's just a few days away at 4 p.m. At Rice's in St. Philip. And we will be having, you know, a variety of artists taking part in that concert. It's entitled Praise and Worship. And the primary purpose really is to carry out some repairs, raise some funds to carry out some repairs on the church, because as you know, we went through a little difficult time with COVID. We weren't able to do the things we wanted to do. And the church not only is a church where we worship, but it's also one that serves the community. We were once designated as a hurricane shelter. We lost that designation because there are a couple other things we have to do, and we're intent on doing that because, you know, for many years, as I said, we were a hurricane shelter, and we really want to serve the community.
Tony, what's the role that the church has played within the community outside of serving the purpose of a hurricane shelter? Because I know for many, the church is central. The church that's in the area is central to all that happens in the community, from vacation Bible school to Sunday school and all of these other things.
You touched on two very important areas. Every year, we have a vacation Bible school going on for all the children in the area. You don't have to be Methodist. We try to reach out, and the parents come, they bring the children there. We again have, you know, everything is money. Well, not everything, but you know, most things involve money.
Yeah.
But we try to reach out, whether you're Anglican, Pentecostal, whatever. These children come in and they go through the Vacation Bible School. We have a very active Sunday school, one of the biggest in the area. And again, the Sunday school teachers, they're going to collect children, actually bring them.
I love that. Wonderful to hear that.
Yeah, because, you know, I am one of these persons who believe that the foundation of a child is very important. You know, they train the child in the way that it should go. And I hold very closely to those precepts. And so we have a very, very strong Sunday school there at Rice's. And we are very proud of it. In addition to that, we reach out to the needy. The Methodist Church have a way of doing things in a very quiet, we don't advertise a lot in terms of what we do, but we do reach out to the community, especially during the COVID period. There were a lot of hampers, there was a lot of assistance given to persons in the area, but as I said, in a very quiet way.
Are you in a position to talk about the scope of these repairs that we're talking about? Because sometimes to do two, as my mother would say, two odd things to the house, we know what it can cost, particularly at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you hoping to do with the church so that we have an idea of why people from the community need to come out and support in this way?
Right. Well, Rices is very near to the sea, the Foul Bay area, the Crane area. So we have to contend with the sea
spray.
salt and sea spray and that kind of thing. So what we found a few weeks ago, we were actually in church, and there was this dropping on the outside, and when we checked the steel, the half-inch high-tension steel, some of that was exposed, so it rot and went in. So it just blew. So we have to remove some of that wall and investigate to the extent to which the church itself is damaged. We don't think it's a lot. The church is not a very old church, but we have to go in and investigate. You know what the repairs would entail, and we haven't put a cost in on it as yet. But as I said, it would not. We don't think it will be extensive, but we do know that it is urgent, and we want to work on it, you know, as quickly as possible.
All right. So, you know, we want people to have peace of mind, most certainly as they worship, or as we welcome people to worship. So I can see why you have to put this event on to be able to give that peace of mind to the membership and restore the areas of the structure that you need to. Let's talk more about the concert.
Yes.
So you mentioned that there are going to be quite a few people appearing, but you didn't necessarily share any names with us.
There are going to be quite a few persons, and we want to thank the other churches in the area, because we have about 8 churches which have come on board and will be participating in that concert, headlining, and he need no introduction, Roger Gittins. Roger was honored by the government of Barbados a few years ago, as well he was honored by the Methodist Church, and he is a legend in music. We all know about his community college work, and he is as I said, he's a legend in that area. He will headline the entertainers. We have Antoine Williams, our own brother daddy. He's also a Methodist, and he will be there. And we are accustomed to Antoine in acting, but he's a very good singer also. Joel Devonish, he's a panist. And sometimes when you hear Joel play, you have to, when he moves away, you have to go and check to see if you don't have anything behind that pan. Man, it's good. And he has played for Gospel Fest, Barbados Jazz Festival. He's played on cruise ships, you know, the first, and I could go on, but it would take the whole day. But Joel Devonish is someone that one has to come and see, and he is with the People's Pentecostal Church. We also have a young lady by the name of Sherry Pilgrim. She won silver at NIFCA last year. She is a very good actress. You can see that she's still at primary school.
No.
But, yeah, she is, but she's an extremely talented young lady.
Wow.
Holy Trinity Church is their band is coming over to play with us. A flame pan group, Ebenezer Worship group. They'll also be there, and when you see Ebenezer Worship group, you remember you would remember the old time hymns with Sister Marshall and those. They are very exciting.
Oh, that's beautiful. It sounds like it's going to be an exciting time for
It's going
all.
to be an exciting time.
But I love the recurring theme that we're seemingly seeing this morning of churches coming together. And that's very important. Tony Barrow is a member of the Rices Methodist Church. They have a variety concert coming up on is it the 18th or the 19th?
It's the 18th. This
18th,
coming
because
Saturday
Tony
at
said
4
19th,
p.m.
you know, so I was like, are my dates wrong or are your dates wrong? But it's April, it's the 18th of May, the 18th of May, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you definitely should go on out and make sure you're a part of it. Even if you support them and you can't make it, it's for a worthy cause to make sure that Rices Methodist Church stays at the center of the community and people can worship in peace, with peace of mind. You know, they don't have to worry about what's happening with the structure of the building. So a special good morning to everybody in the Rices area. Good morning, Miss Best. I eat a lot of that food through the years, and I know you guys can tell. All right, it's time for a break. We'll be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning and welcome back. Now, I've been running myself in trouble for quite some time because a lot of people come on and tell us about things that are happening and I say, I'm coming, I'm going to be there, and I don't always get to go to everything. So, you know, the next people who are coming on, they will remind me that over time I've said I'm going to turn up and I haven't been able to turn up. So they're going to hold me accountable this time around for the Blazing Trails hike that is coming up on Monday, May 20th. To tell us more about it, Professor Dwayne Devonish is here, and he's a member of the Blazing Trails Hiking Association, as is Gail Paris, who is Public Relations Officer with the association. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Tisha.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Good to have both of you with us. First of all, tell us, Dwayne, a little bit about the association itself.
Okay, so Blazing Trails Hiking Association is a long-standing, large hiking organization with over 200 members. We actually started officially in 2015, and we have been raking up in terms of membership ever since. Now, we conduct hikes 3 times a week, Tuesday and Thursday evening, and Saturday morning. We enjoy the beautiful vistas of Barbados, countryside. Gail, we go from East Coast to West Coast, sometimes west to east, all different avenues that we can find, and we bring together many people across the board.
And we also do urban hikes too as well.
Yeah.
And quite a few persons enjoy the urban hikes because they get to see different parts of Barbados. So we would do some hikes sometimes in St. Michael, some areas of St. George, and you'll be surprised some of the different things that we see in Barbados.
So you're the people sometimes you see in the evening with the
Headlights.
lights on the heads and stuff like that, and the reflective vests and so on.
That's correct. That's
I must tell you that sometimes I join. I said these people are brave out here in the dark, in the midst of the traffic.
But remember, outside it's quite hot during the day.
Yes.
So we offer that alternative. So you still get your
Yes.
exercise, you
True.
still get your fresh air, but you're not doing it in the cool.
It's true. I prefer to work out in the evening time too.
Yeah. So you can come this evening.
And then they threw me. Listen, that wouldn't be a big thing. They threw me in the morning, and then I have all intention in the evening. And I said, well, let me sit down here for 2 minutes, and then the TV is watching me.
Oh, dear.
Don't worry, but you know I'm going to get past that. So you guys have a coast-to-coast hike that's coming up, and I know we usually hear a lot about it. So let's get into that a lot more, Gail.
Sure. So I want to encourage everyone to participate in our hike. As Dwayne said, this is our 4th year doing the Coast to Coast hike. So whether you're age 6 or all the way on to age 96, you can come and walk with us. It's a leisurely hike. You can walk at your own pace.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, so even you can come, and I'm looking forward to you
Stop
coming
saying
actually.
even you, Gail. I feel discriminated against.
I mean, as you said just now, you just credit Mrs. Best for all that she gave you to eat. So, I mean, I have to tell
Hello, I'm sure
that
the people who fed you through the years. What does that mean? Listen, Professor Devonish, get on my side.
Oh, no. No, Gail is right. This hike is for everyone.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's for everyone. As I said, and the trails are very clearly marked. It's on Monday, which is Whit Monday. It's a bank holiday, so you have all the time to relax. It starts at 6 a.m. from Barclays Park, and we're going all the way down to Folkestone.
Yeah.
Of course, you can park at Folkestone and then have a shuttle service that takes you to Barclays Park, and then you just take your time when you walk. And you can register either online on our Facebook page, Blazing Trails Hiking Association, or you can register on the Instagram page too as well for the younger persons. And then there are 2 registrations. You have basic, and then you have premium. So if you're some of the bougie persons and you want to do premium, which I know is you, that's you, Tisha.
Look at you, Gail. I just love bring the security.
Let me tell you what you're going to get when you register for premium, okay? It's just $175, which is very affordable. And once you are doing the premium package, you'll get a branded dry fit shirt. You also get a branded drawstring bag, and I brought the bag so everyone can see. It's very nice bag. It's very beneficial for you. You get sleeves to cover your arms from the heat, because you don't want to get tanned like I am. And then you have a nice fanny pack. I also have the fanny pack here too as well. For those who don't like to walk with a backpack, you could also have a fanny pack. So it goes around your waist.
So you thought about just about everything.
Everything. There's a water bottle too as well that you get, and then you get breakfast at the end of the hike.
I like it. How long do you estimate? Because it will be a leisurely walk. I know you're not pushing. People will go at different paces.
Correct.
But how long do you estimate that the entire group will make it from Barclays Park over to Folkestone?
Well, I mean, over the years, we've seen as fast as 2 hours, people completely hike,
That's
up to
quick.
4
4 or 5
hours.
hours, yeah.
Like, I might be in the 4 or 5 hour.
I don't
Yeah, 4 or 5 is
I
more
don't
reasonable,
that.
because it's about 19 kilometers.
Yep, and that's like 12.6 miles.
Yeah. So a few hills in between too as
half a
well.
marathon.
So you have to pace yourself for the hills.
Well, Gail, the way you're looking at me, I think that you guys might get a little surprised. I like that though.
Okay, that's
when
good.
people underestimate what you can do.
Yep,
We know you'll do well. You have that spirit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I love long walks.
Right.
I love long walks, and this could be a beautiful walk. The only area that I've been thinking about, because I've been going through it in my head, is getting over that hill there by Farley Hill. Now, are we going that way?
Oh, no. We're starting from Barclays Park.
Park.
We're moving up Chalky Mount, going through Haggett's,
Yeah.
Mount Hall,
Yeah, St.
Mount
Andrew.
Hillaby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
St.
we're going
That's
across
even
up to-
worse,
Yeah.
Professor.
No, it's not. You just
I'm
carve
kidding,
up.
I'm kidding.
You carve up the day before, or a couple
But
days
yeah, but we
before, and
definitely
then come
should
out.
come out. I'm gonna do that, guys. When you see me on Tuesday morning, you probably won't recognize me. Yeah, but I look forward to it. So from Barclays Park, St. Andrew to Folkestone Park, across 4 parishes, some of the most scenic and historical heritage sites in Barbados. In terms of safety, you want to make sure that you have the right gear on.
Yes.
Correct.
And I know for some of the ladies, Gail said bougie, I won't say that. One of the last hikes I went on, I invited a friend of mine. Good morning, Alex. And she showed up in a full face of makeup.
Oh, dear.
Not a good idea, but you want to make sure you come out, encouraging viewers to come out and participate. And of course, support the Blazing Trails Hiking Association for this initiative. It's coming off on Monday, May 20th, and it's really to promote outdoor recreational activities, health, wellness, and community spirit.
Yes. But let me also, sorry,
Thanks for
quickly,
sharing
just
with
want-
us. Yes, Gail.
I just wanted to mention too that there's also a basic package. So you can also register for $65 too as well. You don't get as much as you get in the premium package, but you can also register for
Instagram pages.
Yeah, on the Instagram page or on our Facebook page too.
All right,
as well.
good stuff. So they're taking care of everything.
Everybody, yes.
For you. Again, thank you for coming in. And we really should make a date to go on out and be a part of it. Enjoying Barbados in terms of walking through it. It's really, really, really beautiful.
Okay.
Time for another break. I'm going to get Gail out of here. She's been treating me horribly.
It's all love.
I'm just
It's all
joking,
love.
but I'll see you on Monday.
Yes, please. We look
All
forward
right.
to seeing
Look
you.
forward to seeing you.
So time for another break here on Morning Barbados, but we have more coming up, so don't you go anywhere.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it. Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back to Morning Barbados. I have to check my phone. It's 7:27. You know how it goes. These days, these phones are everything. You know, everything is out of the window. Phone, calculator, camera, email device. It's just about everything. All you need is your phone. Things have really, really changed. My, but no complaints. Just make sure that you stay grounded. So I'm going to be as intrigued as I have been all morning long with this next interview. I have to say a very special good morning to Ralph Denner, Paula Harris, and Nicholas Quinton. Good to join me here on Morning Barbados. And they're all a part of the Rosicrucian Order. So I have too many questions to fit into this particular interview, but we most certainly will start, and maybe you will have to come back. I know that Ralph is very anxious to come back as well and share a lot more as you look towards your 70th year and move towards some more outreach. So let's start at the beginning, Ralph. You're regional director of the Ancient Mystical Order of Rosicrucius.
Rosicrucis.
Rosicrucis?
Rosicrucis.
You're going to get it right. Rosicrucis. For Barbados, St. Lucia, and Grenada.
That's correct.
So, acronym AMORC.
I will.
So I'll stick with that.
I'll deal with it.
So talk to us a little bit about the order.
Right. Well, good morning,
Good
Keisha.
morning.
Good morning, Barbados. Let me start by offering our profuse thanks to the producers of the show for allowing us to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Our presence here is part of an outreach program to make the Rosicrucian Order and the Barbados chapter better known to the Barbadian community. Okay? The best way to explain AMOR, to explain the Rosicrucian Order, is by giving, I think, an explanation of its name as represented in the acronym AMORC. AMORC, Ancient Mystical Order Rosae Crucis. Now, ancient in that its traditional history goes back 3,600 years at least to the 16th century before the Common Era, okay? Where meetings of the most enlightened persons of the day were held in isolated grottos. They were held in temples dedicated to the many Egyptian gods, and sometimes in the palaces of the pharaohs of the time, okay? Mystical, so that deals with the ancient part of the acronym. Mystical, in that its teachings and philosophy are based on the direct connection all human beings have with God or the divine, that invisible, immaterial link we have with what we call the universal cosmic mind. So there, I've just mentioned God, the divine, because all the cultures do not think in terms of God. They have different names for their different, religious beings. So we like to think in terms of the divine more than God, because we cover all the cultures. So that we deal with that immaterial link that we have with that universal cosmic mind, no order, pertaining to the fact that it is a universal divine order or organization permeating all of existence. And we focus on an inquiry into that divine order and organization and that structure. Now, Rosae Crucis, of the Rose and Cross, that is what, right? The Rosy Cross is the traditional emblem of the order. It's a golden cross with a ruby red rose at the center. I have a picture of it there. The cross, the arms of the cross represent the body of man, while the rose at the center represents the soul of man, evolving as the body goes through the vicissitudes, the trials and tribulations of life.
I feel like I've really received, a foray into all that's happening. I'm here listening with intent, so I'm all in, Ralph. I'm all in, trust me. So, Nicholas, you're group manager for the Barbados chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
70 years on, that's no easy feat. Talk to me about the overall, well, I know, Ralph, you said a great deal, but, at the core of all of that is that you really are seeking to be at one more with the divine or to, basically make that connection.
Yes.
It is what really is your mission. So talk to me about how long you have been with the organization and what your experience has been.
Well, I have been with the organization. September will be 8 years that I've been a member. My tenure as group manager began in March this year when I was installed. And the journey has been an enlightening journey. And the experiences gained and the knowledge gained is very wonderful. And as we're here trying to get to public and have persons understand that we are a group of persons and the information that we seek and the information we have is very much accessible to public, and that is what we're seeking at right now.
With that said, Nicholas, are you what Barbadians would deem, or what can be deemed, or what was seen over time as a secret society?
No.
Well, I'm making sure because based on what you said was the information is definitely available to the public. So if we have to reinforce that the information is in fact available, then it might suggest to one that people have the impression that it isn't. That's the only reason for my question, Ralph. I see you over there.
You know the question, so you go on.
There's no secret to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information in which our regional communications director, Shara Harris, can actually brief you a bit on it. But there's no secret to it.
Yeah, I know for a lot of people, where there's a lack of information, you can have people coming up with their own ideas of what things might be.
True.
So I know a lot of this stems from that position. I had a guest just yesterday who talked about there being ghosts in Barbados because there was no electricity. So I said to him, so now that we have electricity, there are no longer any ghosts. But that comes from a place, I understood what he meant, because that comes from a place of a lack of knowledge a lot of the time. So it's wonderful to see that in your 70th year, you're stepping forward. Now for you, Paula, you are Regional Communications Director, Barbados, St. Lucia, and Grenada. What does that mean for an order like you in terms of what you share and why you feel like there's need to share more about the organization?
Yes. So, good morning, Barbados. Good morning to you, Tisha. So, in the past, the order was known as a secret society, but it's not so secret anymore. Things are evolving. So, for the order, we have very specific standards for our communications. So, the role of communications director was created in February 2021, I think it was. So we try to get as much information out there as possible. We use social media. So we try to capture members and seekers where they are, and they're all on social media. So we use our website, and our website has a wealth of information. There's free literature there. We have lots of books, digests, and so on, that seekers can go, they can download the books, they can read them, and they can also visit Facebook for the Order's official Facebook page, and there's also a group. So it's like a nice community of members and seekers all over the world that they jump right into that group and they ask questions, and they're very heavily engaged there. You can also visit rosicrucian.org and download a booklet called The Mastery of Life. And it gives you a sneak peek into what our teachings are. So what you would learn should you become a member of the order. So for us, it means getting communication out there about what we do and just kind of dispelling those stigmas attached to the Rosicrucian order.
That's very important. Now, I know for the 70th anniversary, Ralph, there are a number of things that you have planned to be able to celebrate this accomplishment.
There are, and I'll defer to Nicholas for that.
All right. Ralph is in charge, man.
He's doing his job. He's doing his job. Okay, so what I have here is a flyer of the very first of its kind, our Family Fun Day.
Okay.
And it is slated on the 20th of May at the Ruiz Sports Club, North Brighton Road, St. Michael. With this, we're having some activities. So there's a cricket match. Then we're going to have like a domino competition. There's a dancing competition as well, where a seasoned dancer has the opportunity to choose a novice and have that novice dancing better within a certain number of songs. And we also have on that day, there's sports activities for children and for those who are children at heart, to relive some of what they would have had as an experience as children, because the guy, he has what would have been the roller or bicycle rim. So there's some of that.
Well, Nicholas, you're talking like you were around during those times. I remember those times when children made toys and so on. So it sounds like it really is going to be a fun day, reflective of where the society has been, along with what has happened in community. And I would imagine that how you've grown has aligned with everything that's been happening, not only in Barbadian society, but across the world, based on the fact that you have such reach. So, Ralph, the final word is yours. I'm
Right.
very impressed already with those handwritten notes. I can see them from all the way over here.
You were so right, Tisha, earlier when you spoke in terms of people, where people look at lodges generally, and the Rosicrucian order in particular, right? Look at us being part of something that is secretive, taboo, clandestine, you know, and that its members are strange and aloof and forthcoming.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to accept responsibility for some of that too, though, because members throughout the years have not necessarily dispelled it.
Right.
So again, with there could be disinformation, but with misinformation and so on, then people's opinions will morph into wherever their minds take them.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And that's why in the 70th year of our operation, we're trying to dispel.
You're stepping out. And here you are, Morning Barbados.
Right.
That's a good start. You're off of social media. Look, they're here.
Yeah,
This is real.
exactly. And we're there, and the community can connect with us.
Yeah.
Just visit your browser. We mainly use Google. Just search for Rosicrucians in Barbados. We have a website, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. So engage with us.
All right.
We'll be happy to engage with you.
I'll do my search. I love research.
So we're about changing that image.
All right.
There was about the order.
Ralph, you're going to have to come back.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
He will. Invite him back.
I'll have to invite Ralph without everybody else.
You have to
Yes. Yeah, I have a few days for you, Ralph. I have a few days for you.
I'm available.
Ralph Denner, Paula Harris, Nicholas Quinton, telling us all about, celebrations coming up. And we're really celebrating 70 years. I mean, 70 years is by no stretch of the imagination an easy feat. So congratulations to the organization for making it to 70 years with a strong membership. And we look forward to having you more and engaging in further discussion.
Awesome. Thank you.
That 70 has nothing to do with the 310 that is so often spoken about. We are going way beyond that.
All right. Good
that
stuff.
doesn't apply to us.
Ralph is going to come back. All right. It's time for another break, but stay with us. Today is really, really packed, so we want to make sure we get everybody in. Don't go anywhere.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb. From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
Oh, Joe.
Morning, morning, morning. Morning. Good morning to you.
I know when we talk about Bajan parlance, one thing that Bajans say is, "What going on?" You know exactly what they mean. Good morning, DJ Simmons. Good morning, Empress Zinga. Good to have both of you with us.
Nice to see you again.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Morning, morning.
If I tell you what going on at all. I know what's going on, though, the Going On Awards.
Yes.
So congratulations. This is your 4th year, is it?
Fifth
year now.
Listen, you left me in 2023. It's
My
the 5th year already.
COVID happened, so COVID is like bunched together some years, so that's happened.
I accept that, and I cut off a few birthdays too.
Yes, there
but
you
I had
go.
the right to do it. So, I mean, congratulations, all
Thanks.
these years on, an idea that you came up with as a husband and wife team, that you were able to build on. I have seen its growth through the years. From the very first one, there was much interest, and now it's on the tongues of almost everyone. People all across the internet are saying, vote for me, vote for me. So DJ, let's talk a little bit about the Gainon Awards, where it started and where it is today.
Yeah, the Gainon Awards really started as our way of showing a way for Bajans to see examples of excellence, where the creatives could celebrate each other and feel fussy, at a different point in the year, where other Barbadians can learn more about the incredible artists, not just in music, but in aesthetics, in hairstylists, the fitness trainers, the motivational speakers, all the people in Bajan community and the creatives that help to make us feel good. Because we need some good things to happen, all these negative things around us, we need something to celebrate and feel good about. And that's where it all came from, and it has elevated to where it's almost like an online festival online, where you go and vote for the nominees. You could listen to the songs, watch the videos, see the photos. You can even follow the people on Instagram and YouTube and do everything in one space. So it's a full experience, an immersive experience into Bajan art and culture.
I love that it feels authentically Barbadian as well, by name and nature. And I'm very impressed that you've included creatives that we usually don't think are creatives. So usually when we speak of creatives, people don't go to nail techs, and they don't go to the people who are out here doing that type of work in society. So talk about the nomination process, Empress Zinga. I know people can't be nominated now, or I would be telling the Morning Barbados,
This
vote
is
for
the
me.
last draw. Well, in terms of the nomination process, every year we open up our platform to the public, and they send us nominations in various genres within the culture. And we have a short list as well, because some names need to be vetted. You don't want Mr. Brown that is cut your grass, decide today that he is a singer. You can't do that. We have to do that to those people who will come forward and have been working not only throughout that particular year, but that is their profession. And we have to respect those people who have been working and who have that skill set. So after the short list, after maybe a week or so, it goes into the official nominee range, of which we are at currently. And once again, the public will be voting for those who are deserving for that year, for that category, that specific category.
It's been working well so far.
We also reach out also to entities and people who have knowledge as well, for them to submit names as well, to try to get the net as far as possible to include as much as the deserving people as possible.
As I said to the group on the last interview, when you reach a milestone, it must mean a great deal. 5 years is a great feat for an initiative like this. We've seen a number of awards, showcases and ceremonies come and go. So it's great that you have that stickability. What can we expect in 2024?
Well, one of the great things that I actually let Empress Zinga speak about this, because this is partially her baby, but we're really honoring some stalwarts, basically giving Jack and Jackie them jackets and flowers. So you can speak about the legacy awardees.
Yes, so for the first time within our industry, we are going to be doing the Legacy Awards of Excellence. And every year after this, I don't know if it's because it's year 5, but every year after this, we will continue to celebrate 5 names within the culture, stalwarts. And I'm going to make quick mention of them because it's really important. For her contribution for fashion, Pauline Bellamy.
Wow.
For his contribution to music as well as performance, Mr. Eric Lewis. We also have, for her contribution to dance and dance education, Geraldine Lynch. For his impact, massive impact on culture, history, and conservation, G. Addington Ford.
Yes.
And of course, for their contribution for theater as well as broadcasting, Tony Thompson.
Wow.
So those are the very first 5 legacy
and they
awardees.
truly are stalwarts when we talk about people who need to be awarded. So it's coming off on Sunday 19th.
Yes.
Where is it?
At the prestigious Frank Collima Hall.
Prestigious Frank Collima
We had a
Hall.
beautiful night of rehearsals last night. The Frank Collima Hall team is fantastic. You're going to be having a full red carpet experience from 6 o'clock, where you'll be interviewed by media, get all the photo ops, and then you'll be ushered into the hall for the ceremony starting at 7, where you're going to be seeing a bunch of Bajan personality presenting the awards, loud, vibrant vibes on stage, unique live performances, some very interesting combinations that you don't usually get to see, and of course you get to see who get awarded with all the awards.
Yeah, or who wins at the end.
Yeah.
You know, that's important. I have to give a big shout out to my nail tech. She is always trying to get me to vote for her. Good morning, Melanie. I do, because she's the best to me.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for coming in. We need to spend some more time together, a little further out.
Yes.
Maybe you could come back before the time. Today is only Tuesday. We have
Yes.
lots of time. And tell us more about the awards, because it's always interesting to find out about pulling it together and what that entails. You can find these too on 94.7 FM, sister station, every Saturday morning for their radio show as well. But it's wonderful to have you stepping out and pursuing your dreams in this way and sharing it with the rest of Barbados. That's what's
Thank
important.
you very much.
Yeah?
Go on over to gainor.com/awards, and you can vote all now until May the 17th. You got to May the 17th. Vote for who you believe deserve to get these awards.
And be prepared to spend a little time on the website, because they introduce you to people and music and things that sometimes we don't even know exist in Barbados.
Yeah.
So thanks again for the
Thank
work
you.
you're doing.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's time for a break. When we come back, cue my favorite song, I Want Muscles. It's true. Roger Boy's classic people are in the house. We'll see how that one works out. We're going to have a good time with that.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. His head down to his toes. I want myself.
Oh, we're back. How about that? Today's one of those days, just in case you didn't notice. All kinds of things going on today. So we are going to be chatting with some wonderful people. We got to meet Eddie last year, and he's back this time around representing for Suriname IFBB Elite Pro Open Bodybuilding champion for the Roger Boys Classic Open Body for 2024, Eddie Wilson. And Shakira Douglin is also here. She's the PRO for the Roger Boys Classic. And I believe we also have Mark Florence Louis of Haiti in the men's physique category, over 179 centimeters, and Jermaine Craig, who is the IFBB Elite Pro World Cup third placer, who are going to be joining us here on set to talk a little bit more about all of that. So we have on screen here, who's this on screen, Shakira? This is Mark. So good morning to you, Mark. Good to have you joining us. Talk to me about your experience with the competition in 2024.
Good morning, good morning. I'm glad to be here with you guys. It was a great experience for me to participate in the competition of Roger Boys Classic World Cup. For me, this experience was really great. So it was a great honor for me to finally take part of the Roger Boys Classic. I want to thank personally Mr. Roger Boys Classic for giving me that opportunity to compete and get my pro cards.
All right, so congratulations. I know that being able to get your pro card is really, you know, the entire crux of things is really what you operate to do. So tell you what, we're going to take a break because we want to bring the others in on the discussion. Yeah, and share a little bit more about that with them too. All right, let's concentrate on Mark for a minute. Talk to me about your journey with bodybuilding.
Okay, let me tell you. I wrote some speech, so I have to tell you. Okay, I've been competing since 2021. My first show was in Dominican Republic in the regional contest. And I went in Saint Martin Diamond Cup for twice, and I do some Miami show too. So Barbados was my sixth show. So I did everything this year. It was a great year.
All right. The experience in Barbados generally, was this your first time here in Barbados?
Okay. For my first time contest in Barbados, I've been in many difficult situations. If I give you detail, it can be quite a movie because I live in Haiti. After my last contest in September 2023, I decided to take a season off because I had some priorities. In January 2024, my coach convinced me to participate to Barbados contest because of my progress. So I start my prep in the dangerous situation of Haiti that you know, because actually it's really really difficult to travel in Haiti. Leave the country was very, very difficult. I'm telling you, like, that's tough.
Yeah.
I have to cross the boundary between Haiti and Dominican Republic, take a flight to Santo Domingo, and go to Miami, and to Miami to come in Barbados.
All right. Well, congratulations once again on all you've been able to accomplish. It certainly was a pleasure having you participate in the event. And again, congratulations on achieving your pro card. We look forward to seeing you in events in future.
Can you say it again, please?
Well, you know, congratulations basically. And of course, sending
Thank
our
you.
very best to you as you continue in competition. Thank you for sharing with us.
Okay, well, I think I will next year in Barbados. Maybe I will bring some more athletes from my country.
All right, well, we look
And
forward to
thanks
that.
again.
Thank you. We look forward to that. All right, so we had a few technical challenges there that we must apologize for. You know how it goes when you're dealing with equipment, but we want to thank you for sharing with us and being a part of today's presentation. Whether you've been watching on Channel 108, CBC TV 8, or online or our YouTube channel, wherever you're watching. Thanks for tuning in. That's today's show, really. I think we had a great time sharing with you. Remember, if there's anybody you'd like to see on Morning Barbados, it's as simple as sending us an email, morningbarbados@cbc.bb, if you'd like to talk about a community event, or if there's someone you think we should highlight, send that email to us and we certainly will answer you. Now, coming up on tomorrow's show is Hump Day. It's the middle of the week. We're talking HR with the Human Resources Management Association of Barbados. Michelle Russell is going to be in. She's an attorney at law, and we're looking at the relationship between employer and contractor. Very, very important. Why is the family important, and what is the one family program? We're going to get more into that. Plus, the Celtic Festival is here in Barbados, and we're talking about rugby. That's all coming up tomorrow on the Wednesday presentation of Morning Barbados. So join us then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.